is passionate about leadership, coaching, hosting meetings, designing programs, energy healing, and all things wellness. She also hosts a Be Well and Be You podcast and has written a book soon to be published. Please welcome Goal Director Kimberly Chalmers.
You know those experiences that you have where you just can't resist yourself? You have to share it with somebody else. You go on a Mexican vacation to this incredible resort and you come home and you brag about it all over social media. Or that cafe down the street where they serve the very best latte. We cannot resist. This is human nature. We experience something that benefits us and we have to share it with somebody else. My father was just like this with the USANA products. And 2 weeks before he passed away, he gave me the greatest gift when he said to me, "Kimberly, I am so eternally grateful that you introduced me to these USANA products because I know that they gave me something, they gave me such a benefit for my overall health." You see, 17 years prior, he had gone into the hospital at VGH for a pancreas and kidney transplant. And that was very successful. And those transplants gave him an additional 17 years of life. But what happened on the operating table was that he suffered a massive heart attack. And several months later, he'd had more heart attacks, strokes. He then had a leg amputation, followed by another leg amputation, followed by a finger amputation, and so on. Well, during this time, I was introduced to USANA. And I thought the number one person in my life who needs better health right now is my father. And so I met with his pharmacist. And the pharmacist did her research, did her due diligence, and she called me up one day and she said, "Kimberly, your father is a lucky man. These products are incredible." And so we began giving them to him every single day. And he took those every single day for the 17 years of life that he had. His kidney doctor, his nephrologist, became my customer because she saw the impact that taking these products had made for him. They didn't cure him of everything, that would have been lovely, but they did shift things for him. Now during this time, I began actively building my business. And there was a time when people started asking me, like, how is it you're building your business so quickly? And I have to tell you, it's like anything. Like, you know those times when you have been practicing your sport or your musical instrument, or you've been working really diligently on a program and you get a certificate. You've all had those experiences, right? Those experiences of success. And you know what it takes? It actually takes vision. It takes vision that you are going to be able to accomplish something greater than what you started with. It takes diligence. It takes focus. It's not magic, right? It takes perseverance. It takes all of these things in order for you to create the success that you desire to create. And that's all it was for me. I had this vision as I began building my business to, of course, impact the health of my family, but also because my greatest goal at that point, my greatest desire at that point was to be a stay-at-home mom. I'd already been a working mom, and I was on maternity leave with my second. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I don't wanna do this long commute from Langley to Vancouver every day with 2 kids, packing them off to daycare. And so when I was shown this incredible gift of USANA, I knew immediately that this had the power to transform my life. I didn't know to what extent this was gonna transform my life, but I just knew. You know when you get that gut feeling and you just know. It doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, let me tell you, my family was saying, don't do it, run away. You know, they all had their own past experiences with network marketing, which is like, it's like an F word. And yet in my mind, I was like, no, there's something special here. And I saw that I could align my vision of being an at-home mom with this incredible vision that Dr. Wentz had to make a global impact on people's health around the world. And so I aligned my vision with this vision that Dr. Wentz has and continues to have for all of us. And I charted a course forward. Now, I tapped into every single training. If there was an event, I was here front or second row. If there was an online event, I was there. Honestly, my notebook, my pens, continually, all these years, 18 years later, I was looking through notes from previous conventions. I have notes from every single convention I've attended, every event. I absolutely became a sponge. I had no business training. Oh my goodness, I worked in a nonprofit. Like, it was everything about handouts, not about sales, not about how to connect with people. But as I tapped in here, I developed the skill to even recognize when somebody else has a need that I can provide for. You see, I was that person that I would walk into a grocery store, head down, get my groceries, and then get out. And I learned to pay attention to people. I learned to ask questions. I learned to be interested in somebody else and take the focus off myself and actually focus on somebody else. Because in this opportunity, there's the ability to make an impact on other people's lives. So this vision propelled me forward. Tapping into all these trainings, I had no idea what it was preparing me for. Now, have you ever had an experience in your life where all of a sudden your whole life changes? Maybe it was something really dramatic, really unexpected, and everything's turned upside down. You ever had an experience like that? I had an experience like that in 2015. I was giving a USANA presentation to this woman who was a coworker of my then husband's. And I was all excited, about the potential for her to get healthier or maybe partner with me in business. And we ended the presentation and she said to me, I don't think you know what's going on in your marriage. I just get the sense that maybe you're not aware. So she explained to me what had happened, because I was completely unaware. And for the next 3 months, every morning when I woke up, I felt like I'd been sucker punched. I felt like my whole world had collapsed in. I felt like this family of 3 children that I had, the home in the cul-de-sac with the little red door, this sort of idyllic life had completely changed in a second. And 3 months in, I began to really see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I 150% attribute the ability for me to press forward due to the things that I learned on the journey with my USANA business. I know, because anytime somebody said no to me, my coaches, my mentors would tell me, get back up, you can do it, keep moving forward, keep your vision front and center. And so here I was in one of my darkest periods of my life, with a vision, a new vision for me and my children. And so I began to feel this incredible joy. I began to feel like there's hope, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what it is, but it's there. And people would say to me, like, are you maybe in denial? Like, you're a little too happy right now. My hashtag at the time was, I love my life, I love my life. People were like, this girl's like really crazy. Like, how can she go through what she's going through and actually be okay? And I can tell you, if I had not said yes 15 years prior to that, or whatever it was, several years prior to that, if I had not said yes, because I was always that victim. I was that person that was a victim to the colds and the flus. I was that person that was a victim to their circumstances at work, a victim to the traffic, a victim to this and that and everything. That was me. But I learned to no longer be a victim and to continue to press on, to continue to move forward. And so for me, that became another reason for my intense gratitude for this company. And that gratitude continues to this day. As you can see, I now have 4 children who span the ages of 5 to 21. And they are such a gift, and I've been able to be home with each of them. And you know, when I was in that transition time, I didn't have to call a boss. I didn't have to say, please, can I get medical leave? I didn't have to do any of that. I had created something because I had aligned with this incredible company that had made such an impact on my life, and I had continued to share it diligently over the years. And because of that, I was able to continue to move forward and make powerful decisions for myself and my family. So today, as you're sitting here and you're wondering, you know, should I really step into this USANA business? Should I even take a look at it? I really invite you. Think of my father's story. Think of the health that granted him. Think of the fact that I was able to make conscious choices and make powerful decisions that propelled my life forward. I now have a beautiful partner. We have a beautiful daughter who's the light of all of our lives and has just brought us all together. There is power when we make these incredible decisions. So thank you, everybody.